and all, and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. 3 by blood, 2 by love, but all connected by the same mystery. From love and relationships to hot topics and politics, we cover it all. In a world divided by color, beliefs, and mistrust, ain't it good to know that you have a safe space to turn, and that's Between Sisters? I'm Kaya, your host, and I'm here with my co-host. And first in, we have Shaunie Dawn. Next in, we have EVE. Last but certainly not least, we have Keisha Keish. Keish, what you got? What's been going on in your world?
Well, DJ Envy and his beautiful wife, Gia Casey, recently came out with a tell-all book about their relationship called Real Life and Real Love. And in this book, they give relationship advice. They tell about the ins and outs of their relationship, the ups and downs, the positives and the negatives. And I'll be honest with you, I have not read the book yet, and I didn't plan on reading the book until recently. I started watching some of their interviews on different shows, and it sounds very interesting. One of their marketing tools is them broadcasting that Gia hadn't had, well, put like this, they were together since the age of 15, 16. And in a 10-year span, so from the age of 15, 16 to 26, she hadn't had any orgasms. So he didn't discover this until one day she was very upset with him and she threw that in his face. And that was like a world storm for the two of them, because everything, she said anytime the word fake came around, he would be like, yeah, like how you was faking all those orgasms. So like he wouldn't let her live that down. And she had to explain to him one day, like, listen, it wasn't you. She said, it was me. She said that she hadn't discovered what her body, like she didn't know how to express how she felt when it came not to what her likes and dislikes, especially at 15, 16 years old. What 16-year-old knows how to tell a man, this is how you make me have an orgasm? So she said it took her over 10 years to discover what she liked for her husband to do to her. And so she had to keep reassuring him. And in the beginning, he didn't believe her. He was like, yeah, I just wasn't the one for you. But she said to him, I didn't know my body. So ladies, I have a question to ask of the three of you. Have you ever faked an orgasm? And don't lie.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, would you say, did you fake? Why did you fake it? Let's start there. Why do women fake orgasms? Or why do you think women fake orgasms?
Unfortunately, I think that's a part of a bigger conversation about the fact that we fake for most of our lives. We fake like we want to be nice to you. We fake like we want to be, the submissive, dutiful, wife. At times when you piss us off and you don't deserve it, we fake a lot of stuff.
I didn't look at it like that.
I didn't look at it like that.
You opened my eyes. That is a really great insight, because we as women, we're strong and beautiful creatures, and we have to endure a lot of things, and we have to keep a smile on our face, even for our kids. So
that's probably why I didn't have a long-lasting relationship, because I told him like it is the whole time.
Well, in a study that was done, 67% of women faked it versus only 28% of men who faked it. So it does.
They was asking the wrong women. They was asking the wrong women, because if you go to a place with some real chicks, that number would be in the 90s.
That's true. That's true. I agree.
Because
right?
And I think that one, it depends on who the partner is. We sometimes want to make them feel good instead of making sure that we are them satisfied. So we'll do the waiting to exhale, woo, and it's just like
And
okay.
even though she faked it, he still played her and
Right.
was with the next chick.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I think that we have to get to know our bodies and not be afraid to tell him or her what is it we want. If they keep on like trying to kiss a spot and you just like,
Yes.
okay, that really isn't like it's I think it's something that we should say.
I agree. And one lady had called up during the interview and said, men, and this is so deep, men, just because we're wet down there doesn't mean we came.
Very true.
Because a lot of men think that because we're wet down there, we came. No! That's the body's natural response.
Right.
To friction.
Yes.
But I think because of the fact that I saw an Instagram post, and it was of LaToya Luckett, and she was saying how how men think that we're superheroes because we cook, we clean, we take care of the kids, we go to work, we do all of this stuff, and they just like, I seen my mama do this, that, and third, and still have time to make the lady that actually was remixing the reel. She was just like, how about your mother was abused, and why would you want me to go through that same thing that your mother went through because she did it with a smile? How about nobody said, well, what was your father doing, why he couldn't help her?
Right.
She was doing this, that, the third, and the other. And this goes into a bigger picture of us always wanting to put other people first, as opposed to putting ourselves in a position where we're like, okay, what do I want? What do I need? What do I like? What don't I like? We don't do that.
So I'm gonna put a little twist to it, and Yvette, because you're still in a dating, I know you're in a committed relationship right now, but I think also too, sometimes women are trying to bag a dude, like they trying to hold on to that dude. Because remember, I made a joke about like if I was dating a dude that owns Amazon, like I'm gonna make him look. Listen, I am faking. I'm screaming. Listen, you a trillionaire.
Woo!
I am not tapping you on your shoulder talking about you did a terrible job. Because I will be right in the Amazon warehouse packing boxes with the rest of them. I am not packing no boxes. I'm gonna tell you how good your stuff was. So we can go out to eat dinner and you can buy me the finer things in life.
Right.
Listen, I want nice things. So is that what we equate? We have to lie in order to stroke the ego to get nice things? Is that how we feel?
Let me tell you.
I don't think it is that. Maybe because I don't do that. So it's just like I really can't answer that because I try not to stroke anybody's ego. Like if I didn't feel any type of thing or everything, it could just be my natural body, because I'm the type of woman that suffers from dryness, that suffers from different things. So it's not even that I'm trying to fake it. It's like, no, I really can't come right now. Like I'm in it, but my body's not giving you what you need to be, you know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then I just feel like, it's me, it's not you. I'm not sure. And then other than that, if I didn't come off of something that you were doing, I would be like, I'm very vocal. So while we're performing, I'm going to tell you what I like. I'm going to tell you what I need more.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, like I'll be like this. No, I don't like that. It's pushing against the bone. I don't like that. And I was like, let's try this position or something like that. So I'm vocal. So.
And I think that we don't always, so for some people, you don't necessarily have to have an orgasm to be satisfied.
Right.
So I think there's a
yeah, because I'm more of a mental, emotional,
intimate type.
Yeah, like
you mentioned that.
I'm very emotional, mental, so I'll get off on that alone. That the other part is just another level.
Yeah, so it's not just the the woo, it's the.
And I think we as women have accepted the fact that we're not going to come every
time.
We're not.
We're not. We just
just like how he doesn't. Like
right.
he
just know
like men don't do that either. Some men actually tell me they're like, I'm enjoying it, but like this time I just didn't.
Right.
I guess it works more. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe they could have been stroking my ego, but I'm just saying.
But that's the only way they finish.
No.
Not necessarily, unless they took a pill. Unless they took a pill.
I don't know that life. I don't know that life.
Look at their interviews, and I kid you not, I was not gonna read the book because I'm like, who are you to tell me I've been married for 23, 24 years? Why I need to read your book? Mm-hmm. But they really get spiritual with it, and they go into detail about how he tried to kill himself.
Oh, well, they went into detail about that when they were doing their sorry tour after it came out that he cheated, and he went into the garage. And like they tell that story a lot of times.
Did you hear the story about Tyrese?
Yeah.
Okay, how Tyrese sat them down.
He basically, and sang and prayed and all of this stuff. He was very instrumental in them getting back together as well.
And he didn't know them from the campaign, just from being in the media. And she said that's what brought her closer to God.
But from what she had said in the interviews is that now he goes out of his way to make sure each day that she is happy. Mm-hmm. So done from small things to big things. Like he wakes up now.
Being intentional.
How how he can make her happy. So I mean, it's not easy to stay together.
But then she also said that she had no idea that he was cheating because he didn't change. He still was doting on her and still was loving and still was attentive. So she had no idea.
Yeah.
Talent.
So
she found out 2 years later.
What?
I think Funkmaster Flex or somebody snitched.
Yeah. I mean, look, they've moved past it. They seem like they are happy, and I wish them all the best because it's not easy for them to stay with the same person since childhood.
I am happy for them, but I really believe that women should be a little more vocal about the stuff that they want and the stuff that they don't want.
Because not for nothing, guys do it
all the time.
Yeah. They tell you.
Guys will let you know.
But you know what? This is sidebar. Me and a friend has spoke about how some dudes like especially really fine dudes, a lot not because I'm not no whore, so I don't know how all fine dudes have sex, but some of them don't know. Some of them don't know that their sex game is whack.
Right.
Because women
we haven't told them. Yeah.
They ego for so long.
Right.
And a lot of times,
and then when they do get that news in the mail, when they get that letter in the mail and find out.
And then they want to sometimes they get disrespectful afterwards. Like your ego is really shot.
Right.
Yep.
I'm like, you ain't all that either.
And that application was denied.
I'm like, you go cry in the car.
I think, but I think with that, it is also how it's told. So I'm just saying to not be like,
to say that ain't it.
That was whack, right?
No,
right. No, but I'm sure that there are some people, who be like, ooh, no, that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a.
It's not what you say; it's how you say it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
How you say it.
So okay, so let's practice. Let's practice.
Oh Lord.
So can we sit down and talk?
Beloved.
The last episode was not the greatest.
No, they be like, no, you gotta hit them with this. They be like, so how was it? I mean,
Oh wait, remember when we joked about it? Like we'll get like the number. Like remember like the Olympics? Yeah. You say the number 5.5.
I mean, it is what it is, you know.
But I think like while you're in that moment, that's when you say, oh well, I'm like, how about this? I like this. You know, I think that's the opportunity to then.
And some guys don't care. Some guys don't even care.
No, like be like, stay right there. Don't you move.
Don't move.
Don't you move.
Just tell them like, I liked how you did.
Arch your back up. Arch your back.
Right.
Or give them reassurance as well. Like, even though you're making like little small adjustments, you can also be like, well, but this is what I like that you did. Like,
right.
you know, so if you operate around that and get that.
That's like getting a report card. Teacher's night.
Let's see the progress report.
Let me tell you, this is your progress. Let's sit down and review what we just went through.
Let's try it again next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of relationships going awry, our fellow New Jerseyan, our Newark, New Jersey native and former center for the LA Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal, he recently did an interview on The Pivot. I had never heard of The Pivot before this interview.
I hadn't either.
And The Pivot is hosted by 3 former NFLers, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, and Ryan Clark. So when Shaq was questioned about his divorce, Shaq's response was true big boy status. Like straight yard, all fruits ripe status, right? And Shaq's response was something that I've never heard a man say before. So he told the host that he never discussed his relationship with Shaunie, his ex-wife, before, but he said he's glad that they asked him. So he said, I was bad. She was awesome. He said she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of corporate stuff. It was just all me. He said, the best feeling for me was coming home and hearing 5 or 6 different voices. Oh. Doesn't matter if I missed 15 free throws and we lost. They don't care about that. Sometimes when you make a lot of mistakes like that, you can't really come back from that. But as I get older and you dwell on situation, I can honestly say it was all me. I had the perfect, right? He said I had the perfect situation. Wife was finer than a mug, kept giving me babies. Still finer than a mug. I had it all. And he said he got selfish.
I appreciate that.
Right?
Coming from a man, I appreciate that. It takes a man to admit. It definitely does.
And I mean,
because you know they are quick to be like, cause she's so and so, you know, and she didn't, you know, she stopped doing this and she stopped loving me. She stopped listening. You know,
Well, I mean, but he had just joined the NBA. He was young.
He was doing shit.
You gotta think back to when you're a certain age and you have it at every turn. Everywhere they went, he got chicks throwing their drawers at him because he's Shaq. It was easy and accessible. And it seems like, you know, it's fun and exciting. So it's just like, I'm going to have this fun because I'm Shaq, not thinking, oh, she's at home with 5 kids, she's got a business, she's a boss, she's this, she's that. It's just like, but this over here is fun. So I think it's just that, that what's the sex, drugs, and money? It's like,
yeah.
I honestly think that when men do the stuff that they do, they don't calculate all the costs.
mm-mm.
They don't.
And when you literally see that an entire family was just ripped apart.
Because they think with that head,
They
not
think
this
in
head.
think in
That moment.
That moment. It's not if she finds out and she's pregnant or she's at home with the baby, and I don't think they think that far ahead because they're right in that moment.
But to be honest with you, and I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but Shaunie doesn't even seem like she's the type to just throw the towel in because of an infidelity.
Right. I don't think they did. I think
because remember they had filed and then they took it off the table, and then like a couple years down the line, it was just like, all right, can't work.
I think it was he didn't stop. I think it was okay. I stayed the first 5 times, but I'm like,
I stayed for your menages. Right. I stayed for your trains, that everything that you've done. I stayed, and you said I'm not going to do it no more.
Right.
And I pray that any NBA player that has done the same thing that Shaq has done to Shaunie, to their own wives, I pray that they actually look in the mirror and say, you know what? He's right. My wife did everything, and I cheated on her, and I messed up. Because like you said, a lot of times men they'll find something. Oh, the way she's wearing them slippers. Mm-hmm. She don't wear the slippers the way she dragged
her feet.
Damn, she always got an attitude.
Yeah.
I just walked through the door, damn.
Exactly. They gonna come up with something. But he said he was just like, I was lost. He said a 76,000 square foot house by yourself. Lost. No kids. Go to the gym. Nobody's playing. Go to their room. Nobody's there. He said you start to feel it. Because when he was in the life popping bottles, it was like round on me. And they, living a life.
Yeah.
And now Shaq is, he's not old, but he's getting older.
Right.
And he looking around himself. And he got somebody else pregnant now. But you looking around and you just like, you starting to feel ailments that you ain't never felt. You just like, wait, my neck hurt. So it's a big difference.
And now she is happy. She
got her pastor.
She got her pastor man. So she's like,
we love a good pastor.
She's like that.
But the pastors be acting up too sometimes.
That is another topic.
But you can imagine Shaq probably at home. They probably over there reading the Bible right now. Man, that could have been me.
I know he over there laying hands.
He throw holy water on right now.
But the great thing about it, he said, I may not be a husband, but I'll always be a father.
Mm-hmm.
So he is still taking responsibility for his responsibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you don't like some dudes, they just don't get it. And Shaunie out here pushing out baby after baby. And his babies wasn't small. His babies wasn't small.
God bless her.
At all.
But you know what, Shaunie? I give you kudos for the handling it with grace, because she's never disparaged him.
Mm-mm.
No.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Even though they didn't work out, it's still a black family, and they were still a black family, still intact. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that. I really do.
Bravo.
Shaq. Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of bravo, let's go right into NeNe Leakes.
That's a good segue.
So speaking of NeNe Leakes, she is going in on Bravo. She's going in on NBC because of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Andy Cohen, because she's allegedly saying that it was a hostile work environment, as well as, you know, being racist among the crew and treating her badly. And she also says that they stopped a lot of her deals that she had coming up, that Cohen was a part of that as well. So, I mean, I know what a hostile work environment is. And
Really?
That's why I do it.
You know, that's why it's so fitting. But I mean, pray with me and for me, people. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So, ladies, like, what do you think about it? Like, what would you do? Would you, stay or try to work around it? She probably worked around it so many years and amounts of time, seasons and everything. So how would you feel about it? Especially if Andy and her were really close friends at a point.
So apparently Andy did say on an interview or something that he did tell, what is it, Siri? What's it called?
Serious?
Sirius.
Oh yeah, XM. Yeah.
He did say that she would want
A lot of money.
a lot of money. So this one for me is kind of a tough one because again, her experience is her experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can Bravo and the show be racist, even though they gave Candy like 5 shows, gave Portia a show, gave
Karen Hugo
Karen a show? They can still have some ways, but it seems like she's not saying Bravo itself is racist. She's saying that they allowed a racist culture in the workplace with
Kim.
Kim. So I don't know. It's I don't know how she is going to be able to prove it.
Right.
That's
I used to watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and at one point NeNe was the headliner.
She was
I love
For
her.
a long time. For years.
The headliner. And then like everything, what goes up got to come down at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of reminds me a little bit of when Monique from the Parkers wanted X amount of dollars from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't see her worth at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But she still was in her frame of mind when she was the queen of comedy years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was bringing it 20 years later, wasn't that same
And she's still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, and also too, the flip side is, when you want bees, you got to have some honey. And NeNe could be a little acidy at some time, at some point.
Yeah, she could.
She stings.
Yeah, she stings.
The
And it's
ghetto.
like, I don't give you no honey if you acting like an asshole. Like,
She's like,
stings.
oh, the ghetto. The ghetto.
I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm sure they'll come to some sort.
Apparently, they also are saying that this year's cast, because the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise started, the new season just started, and they're alleging that this cast had to pay for their own photo shoot for the promos. But it's a little weird because they're saying that they paid for their own photo shoot, but it also says that they didn't like the one that Bravo set up. So they did their own.
Oh, right. So is it?
So,
on-
I mean,
So is it because they're a black cast, or is it because they didn't like the one that they paid for, that Bravo paid for, and then they went and funded their own one?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, most of the Housewives franchises are predominantly white.
Mm-hmm. Except for Atlanta and
Potomac. Now, in New York and New Jersey, because of the fact that that's where we live, and there were no black people of influence for how many years?
Their excuse is that it's about the
circle of friends. So then what does that show you? That's even worse.
But you know what? I'll be honest with you. We have enough shows where black women are so catty and arguing with each other that another one, I think we're okay. Like,
But is it about being arguing and being catty?
Because I see them turning over tables on Jersey and
it seems like all of them are like that. So I'll be honest with you, I like to see those shows. Like, give me them, because they all these ratchet shows show us acting like fools. And at the end of the day, that's what they need, is to get the ratings. They need, regardless of what color these shows are, they need these girls to be catty. You had Mob Wives.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Mob Wives.
They were arguing, they were throwing stuff. So one less black show of women acting a fool, I am so happy. But at the end of the day, I think I mentioned how one time when I went to Moon Palace in Jamaica, the staff was saying how they had to sign documents that they would keep quiet. But the Real Housewives of Atlanta were filming there, and they literally was throwing stuff at each other. And then when they said cut, they would sit there, yeah, girl, so how your child doing? How your kids doing? And then when they go, all right, go, and they start fighting each other again. So it's all about publicity. Right. So I understand
sorry. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, that they could have had the Real Housewives of New York with black women, because there's a lot of black women in New York. My thing is, we have enough shows of reality shows of black women acting a damn fool. Let them have it.
But what I was going to say was that when it came to the situation with Kim, because Kim was just whack, and in my opinion, she was just whack in every sense of the word. Like, she just whack. When she came with wig, she was whack. However, I think people loved the dynamic when she got with Croy.
Yeah.
So that's why she got the spinoff, because everybody loved seeing Croy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was good to look at, you know what I'm saying? And he loved
a football player. He loved her kids. Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's why they got that spinoff. Mm-hmm. Portia had her spinoff with when she was pregnant with PJ, and then she had another spinoff because she was with the new dude, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's more so racist or as opposed to green.
True.
I agree.
You know what I mean? But think about it. NeNe went, and there's nothing wrong with this car, so please do not write me and say nothing. NeNe went from a Nissan Murano in the first episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta in season 1, episode 1. The wig game wasn't there. Neither was the makeup game. Neither was the fashion game.
Mm-hmm.
Check. She ain't have good fashion. She ain't have good wigs. She ain't have good makeup. And you know what I'm saying? And she, but then you went from that to now being a mogul.
Mm-hmm.
Writing Donald Trump checks. You know what I'm saying? So you went from that to that, but then you're saying, oh, well, they didn't give me this, they didn't give me that. When they recorded you getting married to your husband after you divorced him, God rest his soul, Greg Leaks. So, I
know that's what I said. It's a tough one because
maybe your time is just up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She could have experienced certain things with Kim. Like Kim, I feel like she said the N-word a few times. Just they
they made sure that they followed Portia, and they anytime that there was something, even with the Married to Medicine, they always were trying to push, social justice on their platforms. You know what I'm saying? And Bravo cameras went along with them,
Right.
because a lot of people wouldn't know if they weren't on these shows. But Married to Medicine in both Atlanta and in LA, you have a very colorful cast.
Right. I don't know. It's why I said
it's hard to
one.
say.
Like her experience is her experience, but it's just gonna be. I think in the end they'll just they'll do like
Settle.
they'll do with something
and
to keep her happy.
And to look at it from a different perspective, a lot of times, even with us being at work, I can sit here and write a list of stuff that I'm not happy with my job, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys about it, because I need to keep my job. You know what I'm saying? But you best believe the day they try to fire me or they done with me, I'm gonna pull my list out and let everybody know everything that was going on. So I'm trying to look at it from all angles.
Right.
Like, she probably was having these same issues over the years, but what's that saying? You don't shit where you eat or whatever it is. So maybe she kept her her mouth shut humbly, which is surprising for NeNe, because you would think the stuff that she's going through right now, she would have been voiced her opinion about it. But maybe because she was just the fear of getting fired or getting blackballed while she was in that realm with these people. Now that she's coming out of that realm, that's probably why she's voicing her opinion and doing a tell-all at this point.
Singing like a canary.
Yeah.
I mean, well, obviously we'll be definitely keeping an eye on that one. And the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is cheer. And the new season of Real Housewives of Dubai is coming.
I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
I said, look at this.
You think they'll do one in my town?
Listen, I was already saying we need to do Love and Marriage, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We would.
Lord Jesus.
Listen, Carlos King, I'm gonna need you to call me, okay?
I can see your hubby on it. I can see.
Yeah, we would tear down that whole franchise. You'd be like, I didn't know ratings can get this high. Let me tell you something.
Child.
It'll be a stone cold blast. Let me tell you something.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Between Sisters.
The white people problem.
We're not going to talk about
it. You leave the white people stuff to the white people.
We're not talking about Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, nobody.
Mickey Mouse. None of that.